Hey, good day to you. This is Todd, and I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Today I happen to be in a boat, because that's what we're talking about, being in the boat. So today we're continuing our journey through the book of Mark. We're reading from Mark 4, verses 35 through 41. That day, when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let's go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with them. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on the cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and waves obey him." You can see here today I'm perfectly safe. I'm in a kayak, and this is a kayak I like to go out in sometimes. I don't like to go out in rough seas in it. So if I see, like the other day, Myrna and I were going to go out kayaking in the evening. And then we saw the weather report, and it said high seas. And so we said, okay, we won't take the kayaks, and we're just going to go out and walk along the water. And we went out there, and we were like, oh, I am so glad we didn't go kayaking, because the water was so rough that day. And so in a boat like this, you sure don't want to be out in the rough waters. You'd be swamped pretty quick. This is a nice little boat, but it's not great being in high seas. And you can see I'm sitting here in the backyard on land, so I'm perfectly safe now. But Jesus, he was traveling with the disciples, and he was tired, okay? And so they went over, and this particular lake is known for the storms coming up quick. Sometimes here in Florida in the afternoon, it'll be a nice day, and you'll think, well, it's not going to rain today. And then sure enough, about 4 or 5 o'clock, it pours down rain. And so I imagine it's like that there. All of a sudden, it's a nice day, and you think, okay, we can get across here just fine. And then the storm comes, and they're like, oh, we're in trouble. So they come to Jesus, and the disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" He was sleeping. Okay, he was tired. This is another evidence that Jesus is human, because he was sleeping. He wasn't out there never sleeping. He was sleeping. He was man. But verse 39 says, he got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. All he did was said, "Quiet, be still." He didn't have to do any magic incantations or anything else. He spoke and said, "Quiet, be still." All right. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And then it says they were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and waves obey him." I don't know if if there was evidence before they had seen him control the nature like this. They saw him do all kinds of other miracles. We've talked about healing the paralytic and changing water to wine and different things like that. But when you come out and you change the weather like that and just stop the weather from happening, that's a total a different ball game there. And they were astonished that Jesus, could control the weather like that. Nowadays, because of the coronavirus issues going on, betting has taken a downward turn, because there's nothing to bet on. There's no sports being played at all, so there's nothing to bet on. So now, because there's nothing to bet on, the people that bet are now betting on the weather, which the weather is like, it's going to rain, it might rain. I don't know. We don't know for sure. We can predict with the weather apps and everything we have, but we don't know for sure. But Jesus controlled the weather. So the thing about I want you to see today is this: if he can control the weather and just stop the wind and the waves like that, he can surely do things in your life that's really smaller. but he can do that. So he has control over all that. He can he can do the things in your life too that need help. So ask him for help today on those things in your life that need help, and he would answer you. Lord's blessing to you. Thanks for being with us today as we journey through the book of Mark, and I encourage you to keep on reading as we journey through the book of Mark. Lord's blessing. Thanks for watching.